Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
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 Reading from the Satarita. So it was 12 and he did this. So we go to 18 and we will do many slokas without purport till the 27th. 27th he can do tomorrow. Okay, and yeah, I read alone. Krishna Mishra Nama Ara Asayatanayam Sitaya Kosani Baisatyan Hara Ridaya. Translation: Krishna Mishra was the son of Advaita Acharya. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu always had in his heart. 19. Sri Gopala Nama Ara Arsayara Suta Tanhara Sarita Suna Atyanta Adbhuta. Translation: Sri Gopal was another son of Sri Advaita Acharya Prabhu. Now just hear about his characteristics, for they are all very wonderful. Purport: Sri Gopal was one of the 3 devoted sons of Advaita Acharya. The Madhya Lila of Chaitanya Charitamrita chapter 12, text 143, 149 describes his life and character. And dit is het slogan van today. Yeah, it's better this one. Kundika Mandir Maha.
Where are you reading from? Because we don't have
The Chaitanya Charitamrita.
Yeah. But 12, 18, no?
Yeah, 18, and I will stop with 20.
Okay.
Because text 20. Kundika Mandira Mahaprabhu Samukhe. Repeat, please.
Kundika Mandira Mahaprabhu Samukhe.
Kitane Nartana Karabada Prema Sukhe.
Kitane Nartana Karabada Prema Sukhe.
Kundika Mandira Mahaprabhu Samukhe.
Kundika Mandira Mahaprabhu Samukhe.
Kitane Nartana Karabada Prema Sukhe.
Kitane Nartana Karabada Prema Sukhe.
Kundika Mandira Mahaprabhu Samukhe.
Gundicha Mandire Mahaprabhu Sammukhe.
Kitane Nartane Kare Bala Prema Sukhe.
Kirtane Nartana Kare Bala Prema Sukhe. Gundicha Mandire Mahaprabhu Sammukhe. Gundicha Mandire Mahaprabhu Sammukhe. Gundicha Mandire Mahaprabhu Sammukhe. Gundicha Mandire Mahaprabhu Sammukhe. Kirtane Nartana Kare Bala Prema Sukhe. Kirtane Nartana Kare Bala Prema Sukhe.
Gundicha Mandire Mahaprabhu Sammukhe.
Gundicha Mandire Mahaprabhu Sammukhe.
Kirtane Nartana Kara Bhata Prema Sukhe.
Kirtane Nartana Kare Bala Prema Sukhe.
Gundicha Mandire Mahaprabhu Samukhe.
Gundicha Mandire Mahaprabhu Sammukhe.
Kirtane Nartana Kale Bada Prema Sukhe.
Kirtane Nartana Kare Bala Prema Sukhe. Gundicha Mandire Mahaprabhu Sammukhe. Kirtane Nartana Kare Bala Prema Sukhe.
Kundika Mandire.
Gundicha Mandire.
In the Kundika Mandir in Jagannathpur.
Gundicha Mandire Jagannathpuri.
Mahaprabhu
Mahaprabhu
of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu.
Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu.
Samukhe
Sammukhe.
in front.
In front.
Kirtane
Kirtane.
in Sankirtan.
In Sankirtan.
Nartana
Nartana.
dancing.
Dancing.
Kare
Kare.
das.
Yes.
Bada
Bada.
very much.
Very much.
Prema Sukhe
Prema Sukhe.
in transcendental bliss.
In transcendental bliss.
Translation: When Lord Chaitanya Lord Chaitanya personally cleansed the Kundika Mandir in Jagannath Puri. Gopal danced in front of the Lord with great love and happiness. Purport. The Kundika Mandir is situated in Jagannath Puri, and every year Jagannath, Balabhadra and Subhadra come there for the Jagannath temple to stay for 8 days. When Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu lived at Jagannath Puri, every year he personally cleansed this temple with his principal devotees. The Kundika Mandyan chapter of the Chaitanya describes this vividly. Om Jnana Timirandasya Kanananda Salakaya Saksu Unumetama Tasmai Sri Kuruve Namah Narayana Maskityam Naram Safarnarotamam Devim Sarasitim Bhajapsasam Tatodayam Udiriat Van Deham Sri Karo Sri Utakalamam Sri Karun Vaisnavam Sam Sri Rupam Sakatana Rakanatam Tatifam Satvaitam Savaduta Parichana Saita Sri Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padam Halalita Sri Vishaka Vitam Sam Nama Om Vishnu Bhai Krishna Bhai Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Prasanita Namne Nama Om Vishnu Bhai Krishna Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Namne Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravam Sarane Nirvishaya Sunyavadi Pasat Yade Starane Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Kadada Sri Shadikora Bhaktavrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Yes. Before I start, I want to mention that we have, if we look to the Christian religion, we see that if there is the ceremony on Sunday, and they come with the Bible. There is a whole group of people, priests, and they are carrying the Bible in a very beautiful decoration. Many times it's wood or sometimes even silver. And so that gives a certain impression, that, oh, something important is happening. Same thing is if the speaker is there, the Kylant is there. Kylant, so that the viewers see that something special is there. So Kylant is not something, and it is also honoring of the Bhagavad. You have the walking Bhagavad and the book Bhagavad. So it's very important that we follow this system in that sense. So if the speaker are there, everything is there, water is there, Kylant will be given, etc., etc. So that's the Bhagavad class. And it came in mind, this slogan is very, very important that we understand actually what the pure devotee maintains. There is a very nice slogan and is connected with Prabhuji yesterday. And Chune, what's your name? Chune. He was asking about something important. He was telling about his situation, how he can connect with Krishna consciousness. And the Shastra gives so many slokas about this. And one sloka is the Sasadhana Vivardhanamana. And Viraktim Ayatra Karotu Pumsa. Hare Padanusmita Nivratasya Samasta Dukyapyayam Asudate. And somebody knows who is speaking this slogan? What it was?
Can you repeat this?
The sloka is, and the sloka Sasadhana Vivardhanamana. And the Viraktim Ayatra Karotu Pumsa. And Hare Padanusmita Nivitasya. And Samasta Dukapyama Asudate. That's Vidura. Vidura is speaking this to Maitreya. And the sloka is very, very important. And we are speaking about the pure devotee here, Gopal, etc., etc. So the sloka is one who is very anxious to hear the Krishna Katha. So are we anxious to hear Krishna Katha? It is in connection also that we are in the DT department, that's very nice, but they should also hear. It's very, very important. There should be a system that few will roulette. For example, 3 will be there from the DT department. They should also give classes. So they are connected with the DT, they should become purified. And so they should be very anxious. There should be arrangements made for this. And by this anxious and anxiety to hear Krishna Katha, what will happen? Then all the mysteries, material mysteries, will instantly disappear because he will have transcendental bliss. That's the answer of your question in that connection. So we should be very, very anxious. It's not that we are very anxious for our name and fame in this material world, or that we are anxious, and it's also nice, but anxious to have the Mahaprasadam. And that this is our anxiety, or that this is the consciousness we have during the day. So this anxiety, how we can get this? That we can get this by, and there is also a sloka about this in the Srimad Bhagavatam. Eten van Eva Yekasyam, Tatva Yeknasam Atmana, Avaya Tirakyapyam, Sasarva, Sasavata, Sarvata. I mix it last time. And Yat Savatra Sarvada. That's somebody who who get this anxiety. He's looking in all places, in all circumstances, at all times, for the absolute truth, tattva, for the tattva. That is a very nice slogan because it is, I should this, and everybody should know this actually by heart. And because it is one of the Satya slokas of the Srimad Bhagavatam. So why it is there? Because this anxiety should be there. We should look to the solution of our miseries in our daily life. We are chanting in the morning, but what is there? There are no tears. So this should give anxiety. Prabhupada is telling this natural position of the living entity is that when chanting the holy name, that tears are falling out of the eyes. But why we don't have? Because it's still framed. Our heart is still framed in that connection. So we can see with these personalities like Gopal, at how they are, how he was dancing before the Lord in the Kundika temple. In the Kundika temple, he was, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was so pleased. He was showing the ecstatic symptoms, Gopal, and fainting while dancing for the Supreme Lord. So the Kundika temple is also very, very important. And what will happen if we get more and more this anxiety in the heart, then we are coming more and more in the mood of the pure devotees of Lakshmi Devi, etc. We can see that, for example, Lakshmi Devi is in the spirit world. Everything is Sintamani, but why she is clean? The palaces, why she is taking care, why she is anxious, how it is possible to be anxious is everything is pure Sintamani in the spirit world. Because the love is there for the Supreme Lord, that the service attitude is there. Even that it looks that seemingly it looks clean. Still the anxiety is there, and we should have this kind of view in our spiritual life. If we are in the kitchen, and Prabhupada knows from Bhaktivedanta Manor and from England how the kitchen is. We can see so many examples also. I did book distribution in India, and many places I saw in 15 years, houses, etc., etc. Many kitchens in India is really amazing. Many kitchens are more clean than the DT kitchens in ISKCON. It is really amazing. Everything is spick and splendor. If you look, all the pots are there. No question that there is a little bit black on the pots. So how we can tolerate this as devotees of the Lord if we walk to the kitchen and we see black spots on the pot? That means we are anxious for other things. We are anxious for the material things in the temple, but not anxious how the cook, transcendental cook, will cook transcendental items for the Supreme Lord. Transcendental items cannot, Prabhupada gave a very nice example also in that connection. That, I think with Yamuna Devi, she is explaining this probably in the Prabhupada Linamrita. She met Prabhupada, and the first time she was explaining that Prabhupada was asking her to clean the pot. Was black pot, and she was cleaning. And she was thinking, oh, this is very nice after 1 hour. After 1 hour cleaning, it looks very nice. And Prabhupada was looking and he said, no, you continue cleaning. It's not clean. And she was cleaning for 2-3 hours a pot. It was maybe more than 3 hours. A pot. Can we imagine this? Can we imagine that why Prabhupada was giving this example? Because we are in the kitchen, we are cooking transcendental items, and everything is the property of Radharani in the kitchen. So by this kind of consciousness, what will happen, then there will be, and Bhaktivinoda Saraswati Maharaj is explaining about this, everything what's happening in the temple, for example, quarrels. And I was here 2 days and I had already witnessed 2 times quarrels, also from the DT department that came. And also when I was outside, there was also a devotee from the DP department involved with one congregation. And everybody looking. So all the public was looking, and they see but we should, and we can track this back to the offenses that is made in the kitchen, in temple area itself, that comes all from the DT departments, offenses are made. So we should really work to get this kind of consciousness height as Lakshmi Devi and Kopal, and there are so many examples are there. We have, what is his name? I forgot his name, but there are devotees, for example, there is also in the Satya Sarita mentioned that he came with a coconut, and some other he touched upper the coconut. And he had the bhavis there, the anxiety to serve the Supreme Lord in the perfect manner. We are connecting this also with one other thing actually. I spoke with one Bangladesh devotee, and I was asking him, you're working in a restaurant, you're telling, and how many stars the hotel has? And he was selling 5 stars, 5-star hotel. Everything is so paka in this hotel. They have it's in Paris. They have the best cleaners. They have, and the cooks are the best of friends. The best cooks are their of friends. And you guess how much for one night you have to pay there. Somebody can guess. For 1 night in the 5-star hotel.
200 euros?
3,000.
What?
3,000 euro. He is working, this Bangladeshi, in a congregation. So we should know where he's working in a hotel here. And they are paying 2,500 euro for one night. But the point is, that they have the best cooks, they have the best cleaners. There is no question that there is some black on the pots. No question. So we as temple, we cannot tolerate this. We should really come to the consciousness that we become anxious to have everything paka, that is Vaikuntha, in that connection. So if material people can make this arrangement, so how we should have this kind of consciousness. That's the whole point. You can imagine the cleaners there in this 5-star hotel, they will be fired. If there is something dirty, it can happen 2-3 times, then you don't have to come back. So that is the consciousness the hotel owner is imbibing in the people who are working there. There's also no question. So that is wonderful. So Prabhupada is explaining we can actually learn so many things from material people. He's also giving example from the organization, how to manage the things. And he gives one organization in India as example. Right? We can learn from that. That is the Vivekananda organization. Prabhupada was very much appreciating how Vivekananda and the organization have organized everything. Everything is very nice organized in the temples, the management is good organized, etc., etc. And it gives a certain kind of consciousness. It gives a certain kind of consciousness, and we can also witness this with the Swaminarayan organization in India. The Swaminarayan organization is actually a bogus organization, but why they became so big? Because the whole organization, the cleanliness and etc. is very nice organized in the Swaminarayan mandir, in the temples. And for that reason, in Gujarat it's bigger than ISKCON. And also they came in England, Swaminarayan. They
4 huge temples, like purpose-built temples as well.
Yeah, so but they have organized the things very nice. That is it's clean, very clean, etc., etc. So that is attracting the living entities to the wrong kind of organization. What not is giving to them this medicine. So it's not giving this medicine of proper hearing, because slowly they started to deviate. In the beginning, the Swaminarayan was actually very paka. And Swaminarayan was considered the prophet, or whatever you wanted to know, a pure devotee. And Swaminarayan is the worshipper of the Lord, but slowly they deviated that Swaminarayan became the worshipper Lord. So they became Mayavad, slowly. But the point is that this anxiety, this kind of consciousness that we can imbibe is also very important for the deity department, that we start to show the anxiety. For that reason, they should also be in the classes. There is the service is there, and we have to hear. We have to hear, to clean the heart. The heart should become cleaned. Not that after 20 years we do service and still we are dictated by the modes of material natures. Harir, Nikuna, Saksat, Purusa, Prakriti, Para. And Sarvadrik, Upadrasta, and Upadrasta. Dan is the last slogan. The last line is actually very important line, and I lost the last line. But this is very important. The Hari is completely transcendental. He is free from any material touch. And those Buffet, Bhaitya, Buffet is the last line, Bhaitya, Buffet, that those who are serving him, they are also free from the three modes of material nature, and they have all the transcendental qualities. So for that reason I mentioned this as example, that if we are in the temple and we are in a public place and we start to quarrel with the congregation, that's very, very bad kind of preaching, and it shows, and the people who see this, they also think that the process is not working. So of course we are starting with devotion service, but especially if we are senior, we are in charge of a department or what, etc., etc. It should be that we come in connection really with Hari, not that the three modes of material nature is stopping us from this kind of purification. And that shows also that there is no proper hearing, if that is happening with devotees after so many years. So this proper hearing, that is the medicine, and the bliss, what is mentioned, that will automatically come. So that is the whole point of this hearing, this class about this Gopal and the Kundika temple, is that this process, that is the Kundika temple, the cleaning of the heart, it is a constant process is there. It's a constant process is there, and by which the Supreme Lord actually can become situated in the hearts. And we can witness this very nicely also with Srila Prabhupada. With Srila Prabhupada, the devotees who were actually most close to Prabhupada, like Jayapataka Maharaj and etc., was not that they were all the most connected with the Vibhu of Prabhupada. It does not have to be. By the Vani, the process will take place. We can see also in the Madhva Acharya Sampradaya, where we are situated in, and Jayatirtha, I think. Jayatirtha is considered one of the most advanced devotees of Madhva Acharya. But how it is possible? He came after 50 years. Madhva Acharya left already this world. And he is considered the bona fide and the recipient of the mercy of Madhva Acharya. How it is possible? Not this close associates who was in the time of Madhva Acharya. Of course, they are also, some are also considered very advanced, but he got this empowerment, he got this connection with the spiritual body of Madhva Acharya by completely connecting with the Vani of Madhva Acharya. He was not perfect. It is said that he had association the life before, but we cannot speculate about that. But that is some saying about it, that he became so much connected and completely absorbed in the teaching of Madhva Acharya that he wrote books, and that is considered by the followers of Madhva Acharya and us, where we are in, as the bona fide and anecdotes and scriptures in the Gaudiya mode. So that is very, very important, and we can be there. So that what does it mean? That he was completely Hari Nikuna Saksat. He was completely connecting with the spiritual person, the personality of Godhead. So he was connecting with the spiritual body. we have so many other examples in that connection, and Bhaktivinoda Thakur is very nice example also, and Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Maharaj. So one time, and when Bhaktivinoda Thakur already left this mortal plane, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Maharaj was meeting the house friend of the family of Bhaktivinoda Thakur. I think many has heard this already, but it's really amazing. So this house friend came and met Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Maharaj, and he said, "Do you remember me? I came to your house and I was a friend of your father." And Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Maharaj was looking to him, and he said, "You never met Bhaktivinoda Thakur." And this friend, he did not understand, he became upset. I said, "I met your father, you was a small child, so how you can speak like this? I was very good for many, many years. I know everything about your father." Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Maharaj was telling, "No, you never met Bhaktivinoda Thakur." And he was really upset, and then he gave the teaching, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Maharaj, forceful teaching. He said, "Bhaktivinoda Thakur don't have any family. He is free from any contamination of this material world. He is a spiritual entity sent by the Supreme Lord to this material world to enlighten, to and free the people from the three modes of material nature, connect them with pure devotional service. And you never met them, you only met the material body, but never association with them." So this is the whole point. So we as followers of Prabhupada, we should hanker and get this anxiety that we are coming here to take darshan daily and have Prabhupada Kichaya, etc., etc. But how we can really connect with Prabhupada, spiritual, transcendental, emissionary from the spiritual world, that is the anxiety we should get. We should really get this anxiety, the anxiety from in our service, in our dealings in that connection, and that can come. It can come. It is explained that even that the associates of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu are not there, even that and so many personalities of the Chaitanya are not there anymore. We can connect them. We can connect, and I have myself a small example in that connection. I came to Ireland, and before I went to Ireland, and it was in 2015, I wanted to take blessings from from Rupa Goswami in the Samadhi. But I was thinking when I was praying, I'm not qualified, why he should listen to me. But a very interesting thing happened, and that is at that moment that I was sitting there, and so the Pujari came. Pujari came very fast. He was walking like anything. I was surprised. Somebody came and he was walking very fast. He opened the door, he took the garland and he put the garland around me, around my body. And I was surprised. Even such a rascal as I am, still they are hearing. They're hearing. If we want to please Prabhupada, if we want to please the Acharyas, if we want to please the Krishna in this material world, they are hearing us. They are hearing us. And also to encourage us, there is a spiritual dimension. And we don't have this eyes, at least I myself not, that like Prabhupada. He was sitting there in the Damodar temple, and then he was, Rupa Goswami gave darshan, Prabhupada could see. It's a very nice picture in Bhopal, that this picture, but actually it was not like this. Or the painter had also spiritual vision that he could also see Rupa Goswami, but for material eyes it was not visible, Rupa Goswami. But Prabhupada saw Rupa Goswami could direct the darshan. So we can come to this platform, it's explained in the Chaitanya Charita that the mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is there at this moment. If we preach the glories of the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, if we preach, do Harinam, Sankirtan, then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu will be there and we can actually start really connect on the spiritual platform. And they are there. So one example is also there, of we are doing Harinam, and one time I was doing Harinam in Amsterdam, and it was really amazing, because this Harinam is actually, I think, the only time that I was feeling Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was there. And the circumstances was really amazing, because it was a rainy day, and the leader was a devotee who was actually not a good kirtan leader, but there was nobody else. We were with 6 devotees, and we started the Harinam, and after 30 minutes there came a wave of spiritual energy. Everybody became ecstatic in the Harinam, and nobody could understand, because everybody had the same, that it's not a good kirtan leader like this. But some other Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's music came, and it was the most ecstatic Harinam, probably what I witnessed in that sense. And that's amazing, but it shows that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is there, the Harinam. If we already start to connect with the Harinam, we can get really this spiritual bliss and become completely satisfied in this material world. And then it become, this anxiety will come not only for hearing the Krishna Katha, that devotees want to be there, it will come in every aspect in spiritual life. And then it becomes very, very transcendental, and we have this example. For example, is also Bhakti Vikas Maharaj, it's a nice example. He has so many years, he's going around, etc., but every Korati is here. Every Korati. It is really amazing, wherever he is, and he's running. Sometimes he's late running to the Korati or the Mangal Arati, whatever. So this is the anxiety we should have. It's not that, and we think, okay, I did 5 years, I did the temple program, and now I became senior, I do personal worship of the Supreme Lord, or whatever service we are doing, and now it's not necessary to attend the class. It shows also in another sense that you artificially, somebody put himself on the platform that he thinks, oh, I don't need this class. The class is for some neophytes to understand that Krishna is the Supreme Lord. But Sivaram Maharaj is explaining about this. Yes, actually, these books are really wonderful, of Sivaram Maharaj. Not qualified, but it's really ecstatic books. And he's explaining in the Sintamani, I forgot even the name. But anyhow, he explains about, and so ISKCON is for all the devotees, for the neophytes, for the middle class, and for the pure devotees. So, but what happens? Somebody can make really advancement. Somebody can come to the platform of the Gopal, etc., and they can be on the spiritual platform. The Swarup is out of the Anatanivriti, and the Swarup starts to be revealed by the holy name. But what is his characteristic? His characteristic is that he still goes to the class, but he's more anxious actually to go to the class, because he wants to hear more. He wants to hear more qualities of the Supreme Lord, and he is very anxious to be there at the Mangalati. He is there. In the night, he is awaking sometimes and thinking when it's Mangalati time. That's his anxiety. So that is, this anxiety can come. This anxiety can come. But there are it's a nice example in this material world for the Prabhupada gives is example. Somebody has a relationship out of the marriage, paramour or something, paramour, and she is cleaning everything she is doing so attentively, more attentive than before. So because in the mind she is thinking about the paramour and she is afraid that the husband will discover something. So she's doing everything more in anxiety, more better, that the husband will not get any suspicion in that sense. So this is also with the pure, somebody is following, come to the pure platform, is that he wants to be there, he wants to be there in the art, he wants to be there in the programs, etc., etc. And also, he wants to give an example. He's also an example for the neophytes, devotees, to be there and to inspire them to be there, so that they also can make advancement. Because the Goswamis has given us the perfect formula in that sense. The whole program is to be protected against the three modes of material nature and to be connected with the spiritual energy. So the program is not whimsically that it is made something. So it is made for the perfect, it's antiseptic. So it's an antiseptic, we are deceased. So that we have to first acknowledge we are deceased. Skin disease is there. So skin disease, the doctors, like the six Goswamis, they have expert doctors, they give the expert medicine for the deceased condition living entity, by which they can become antiseptic in this material world. So that everything what is happening in the surface or outside in the material world, that they are showing and living according to the transcendental qualities, and that this etafin Yajnasatmana, that this anxiety will become a part of the self. The spiritual self starts to awaken in that connection, the anxiety to please the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So that is what we can witness by advanced devotees. It is wonderful to see, but it should also be without their association. We should really come to this platform. It came also in mind that Radha Maharaj, he goes to America sometimes, I don't know if he still comes, but very well known that there is a temple in America and he has so many disciples there. When he is there, 250 devotees are there in Mangalati. It's wonderful. But if he leaves, then it goes back to 3. So that is a kind of cheating of the disciples. What they cannot make, that is not that they cannot make advancements in that connection. It becomes some external things. But the spiritual life is not some external things that it becomes a show, or we have Brahmana thread, but we don't have the qualities, or we have so many other things are there. And so these qualities should be there. Krishna is not really pleased with this kind of attitude. Krishna is actually, in that sense, very tricky person, because Krishna is all, for example, as a very nice example is also there that the Grahasta should give donations to the temple. But if some millionaire is giving €1 donation, or some very poor person is giving €1 donation, it's not all Krishna is seeing the same. Krishna is looking and smiling and pointing what is there behind your back. You give €1, but you keep $1 million or euro for yourself. So that is Krishna is looking to this. So this is in our spiritual life also. So he's looking, but we can give more. We should not withdraw in that connection. And this is the platform that Krishna will put us more and more in his shelter. It's very nice explained by Prabhupada also, that he was explaining it one time that Prabhupada was smiling one time when he was singing a sloka of the Srimad Bhagavatam, because it happened himself that if Krishna is anxious to bring back his devotee in his shelter, what he is doing? He's taking all his obstacles, all his money away, so that his friends will look to him and think, what a useless person. They will, material friends, they will kick him out of the association. And then he is completely free and to surrender to the Supreme Lord. So it is, Prabhupada was smiling when he was reading this. And for us also, we should come to this platform that everything we do, everything what we withdraw in that connection, we try to do more and more. And actually there is an amazing concept in this connection. And once we actually become a devotee of the Lord and we start to give more, it comes back multiple times. It's very amazing. There is one devotee in Surat. He has a sari shop, and he's really amazing devotee. He read 7 times the Srimad Bhagavatam, and he is giving so much donations. He's giving for example, for farm communities, he's giving for this, he's giving for that. But he's telling, everything is coming back, so I have to give more. I can give more to the Supreme Lord. It's really amazing, this faith he has developed. So he's not worried about anything. He's donating sometimes above his capacity, but Krishna will take care that and the things can be there, that he can give more donations. So reciprocation. That reciprocation is very, very inspiring for a devotee. Once he sees how Krishna is working in this material world, how Krishna is reciprocating, and that shows also that he is a very advanced devotee, because Krishna is not giving opulence to somebody who he thinks, or he can see the future, of course, that okay, let me give him the opulence and then that he will fall down. So that is a very important thing also, that we are praying to the Supreme Lord, or give me the quality of that I can distribute 100 books daily, for example. But Krishna knows that yes, but if I do this, he will become puffed up person. He will become puffed up. He will start to make offenses to other devotees. He will and he will ultimately, and it happened also in ISKCON, that some devotees, they became so expert in book distribution, and one day they were thinking, but I can do this also for myself. So I'm a very good seller, and they started to do business. By themselves, they left the temple, Krishna consciousness all together. So that is very important, because opulence and tirasketa pralabdha. The opulence can be a very big obstacle in spiritual life. And one devotee from Amsterdam, he was not putting his anxiety on Krishna, because what happened, he left the temple and he became one of the biggest biggest person material in the Netherlands, and he got his house next to the Queen of the Netherlands. Well, of course, the Queen has more palaces, but one palace is there and his house is there, and he got 250 companies he started, and 247 companies became successful. So he's in the top 100. But the result was that, and when I was there in Amsterdam, there was a magazine, business magazine, and he was there with a glass of wine, bottle of wine, and putting this. So he was completely out of Krishna consciousness. That was the result. So that is the result from the meditation somebody has during the services. Krishna, the form of Krishna, or is that he gave his desires, his material desires were fulfilled in that connection. But that is actually the cheating of the guru. The guru is also giving this. Okay, you want to become like this? Let it be. It is one kind of mercy the guru also gives can give to a disciple. So this cheating process is very important for devotees to analyze the consciousness, why we are doing the things, why we are doing the service in that connection, what is our ambition in that connection. Always we should analyze this, how the consciousness is going, and rectify this. If we want to get to pure devotion service, rectify this and look, or it is by asat sangha that these material desires are increasing, because sometimes you have the wrong association that this desires are increasing, and look for the right association and the right temple or place where, as grahastas, where we are, and look how we can get the association, get your house close to the temple. It's also very important for grahastas that they can be part of the temple life and come to the Mangal Aarti and do our things 100% Krishna consciousness in that connection. If the process is not working as we are following now, because grahastas, they should make a temple in the house, but if they see I'm not making progress, they should think about how to get more association from devotees. That is their consideration, that is should be the consideration, and how they can ultimately also take up from the prasta, very important for grahastas in that connection. But that's a whole other lecture, that by becoming more fixed in devotion service, that the desire to dedicate the last end of their life will be shown by taking up from the prasta, by guiding younger devotees, etc., etc. That will be the revolution ultimately in the movement. What is very much needed, that we become more revolutionary and come out of the concept of Hinduism, etc., and take on the wrong designations in spiritual life. So that is a small thing I can tell about the slogan. Yeah, ultimately you can speak so many things about pure devotion service, but this is one thing I wanted to mention. Maybe somebody has some question or some doubt. Yes.
I wanted to ask, sorry, on the practical side, it's something I really also believe very important that pujaris in the temple attend the class and that many residents in Greece are even around the 10 morning program
Yeah.
at least. So really convinced about that, and I see practical effect of that on my own journey. When it doesn't happen, how the day is going. So my question is, what will happen if pujaris don't attend the classes specifically, and how to practically apply it? Because when you spend like 2-3 hours on the altar in the morning, you already get a bit tired, a bit anxious for the remaining of your day. With your personal sadhana, meaning rounds and so on and so forth. So what is your realization about that? And
Yes, and it's a good point. And one thing what I was mentioning, there can be a schedule that some pujaris will shift. One day 3 will come, and the other day 3. So then it can be more easy. And the result is that, and I mentioned this, that I was in the temple, I'm only 1 week, and 2 times I have seen that pujaris were not controlled. They became angry, and that is it's a sign that they are not hearing. And it's not the sign that we are not contacting Hari, we are doing deity worship, but not Hari Nikuna Saksat. We are not contacting the transcendental person itself, which we are also free, with doing service. We are also free from the 3 modes of material nature. So the consequence is this, that we are not becoming purified in that connection, and so that is a good solution. But it should be anxiety, it should be there by the head pujari, that they should hear in that sense, the pujari. This responsibility that there is coming a certain schedule, and also what I mentioned, important, because we have so many senior pujaris that they can give classes also. So that is there, and normally it will be inspiring also for the person to give a class, and he has so many realizations with DT department or whatever department is there, and try to help the devotees, congregation. How many are listening to the class? Congregation normally?
0.
0. How it is?
Sometimes they come and they go.
Okay.
They appear, they disappear.
Okay, disappear. That is so that should be there. That and this anxiety is there on that this will be managed, that the other pujaris will listen in what we have in Bhopal. Many are there. Otherwise the temple will be also empty, because we have 20 in the DT department. But sometimes some is not there, but in general, because most will have, during the day they will have so much, can be managed that they don't have too much services then, in that sense. And this also managed in that connection. After the morning they will have maybe some arti and some offering, but that is, they have the whole day is there for chanting. One other solution, and that's what I'm doing myself, I wake earlier in the morning, so arrange the thing, yeah, maybe it's dressing will be there, but for those who are not dressing and in the night, they can be early awaking. So that, for example, myself, I did the awaking, but all the rounds are finished before 6. In that sense. And other things is that Krishna will give the empowerment to do this. So that's the whole point. So the point is that we are showing that we don't have faith in the Supreme Lord by telling there is no time, body is tired. Krishna will give the empowerment. So if we are really anxious, for example, Prabhuji was doing so much service. He was 12 hours service he was doing daily. So that Krishna gave the empowerment to do this. So Krishna, that is showing that's a show of pure devotional service ultimately, that we can be there and we should come slowly to the platform of the Goswamis in that connection, and Prabhupada. So then Prabhupada was not giving the argument in the night that Krishna was awaking him in the night, 11 o'clock or 12 o'clock, and that Prabhupada told to Krishna, I too tired to give translation to them. I will not be there. No. So he awoke, Paramatma, Krishna was awaking him, it's now time to write your purport for the conditioned living entities. And he awoke. And he got the empowerment, in that sense. So that is also one thing. We can become more empowered if we get more faith, if we start to act on this platform. And Krishna is very happy to help this kind of devotees to be awake in the class. And the other thing is also connected with that. If we hear transcendental sounds, then the tiredness is finished. It's, for example, if you hear Prabhupada class, if we are tired, it's going because it's transcendental. We are contacting the spiritual energy. We are in Vrindavan. There are no 3 modes of material nature. So that is also there. The spiritual sound vibration is for awakening. It's awakening us out of the ignorance in that connection. And we will become very inspired if we see this happening. Then we will also become very inspired in that sense to do this service of Sri Vitasvakatapa. Nastapaya Nityam Bhakta Bhakata Uttamaisra Bhakti Bhavati Naistaki, that daily we should attend the classes of the Srimad Bhagavatam. So that's the other thing, we are actually starting to make offenses. Because why we have the temple here, actually. Why the temple is there? Actually it's for hearing. This is the reason we have temples. This is the reason Prabhupada wrote the books. So we are also showing in that connection that we are not so much interested in what Prabhupada gave his blood and he gave his blood to write this purport. He sacrificed all his sense gratification, because sleeping is sense gratification. He sacrificed this all for us. So we are showing also disgrace in one sense. Disgrace, oh, it's not, you did this, but not so much important. I take some rest or do some other thing. It's not gratitude. It's not gratitude in the heart that we are really realizing that after millions of lifetimes suffering in this material world, the ACARYA, we are getting the opportunity by Prabhupada's mercy, to become a human being. We are becoming a human being, and now we can make the step to become a devotee of the Supreme Lord. After so many lives of suffering in this material world. So that is very important thing, I think also. So this understanding what we are doing in ISKCON, why we came to ISKCON. We came to get some Mahaprasadam, or we go to ISKCON for some material facilities, or we came to ISKCON to show the gratitude to Prabhupada, that he lived us out of this horrible kind of existence in this material world. And by doing this, then if this is coming in the heart, then also we want to give this to others. So we want to distribute the logos of Kali Yuga to other living entities, because we understand their suffering. Every living entity is suffering in this condition. So it shows also a lack of understanding actually what we are doing here in this movement. So we should become a representative of the ACARYA. So that is what Prabhupada made this movement. At least one pure devotee should come there. So that is also showing in that connection that we are actually, so by not hearing all these kind of things, we are showing this also to others. That we actually don't, we are on an external platform, we are in this movement. So